Let's
I
do
just
it.
love, I just love, I just love seeing black people. I love us. I'm looking at this green. I'm like, ready
Melanation.
because I'm in Seattle, so this is my
You don't
weekly.
get
This
much.
is where this is where I fill my cup at weekly right here.
It's the cookout.
Yeah.
Period.
I got an affirmation jar right by my mirror for a reason to be like, you was kind, you was smart, you was important.
Hey community, it's DaShawn Usher from GLAAD and MOBI. What's brewing today?
DaShawn Usher.
MOBI Fest.
And Curiositea, Monica, and Brandy tour. So get your cups ready for Minority Report. Hey, welcome to Minority Report. It's Auntie Carell.
It's Auntie DeShawn.
And it's Auntie Jarrell.
Hey, how's it going, ladies? Y'all doing all right today?
We're doing good.
We talked about it off camera a little bit. It's Monday 2.0. But I'm feeling the spirit again. I know I'm around community right now, and I'm just I've officially clocked out. Let me just put it that way. I know I'm off the clock. They're not getting nothing from me until tomorrow morning.
I know that's right. That's how it be. But like, shut that laptop. Like, is what it is. And the DeShawn's back community. We know DeShawn was gone last week's episode because she stayed traveling. But she back. She back with a little more glow. She done been to Spain, Brazil, Puerto Vallarta, all in like the last 2 months.
She really has, though.
Aspire to be Auntie Shar over there.
I think she's trying to tell us something.
I guess so.
Look, I told you I'm about to be out of this country when the old boy got in here.
That.
So
you know,
for all them people out there. For all them people out there that's talking all that smack, saying I ain't gonna, and they still sitting up in the same place. Bitch, I'm gone. I'm out there.
No, that's right. Well, community, if you're watching on YouTube,
low key, it might have been me that set the fire to that plantation.
Stop.
You said it in hightailed out. Well, thank you, boo. On behalf of the ancestors, thank you.
Okay, look. To whomever.
Baby, the internet was cutting up on that. I was living. But community, if you're on YouTube, you see that there's a special guest on the screen with this week. Yes. And we always got to set up the intro here. And truly, we say this about some guests about having 15 jobs. I think I love you. This human being be everywhere. We have the culture curator, the writer, the historian, the executive, the nonprofit leader, the HIV advocate, the senior director for communities of color and media at GLAAD, the founder of Mobilizing Our Brothers Initiative, MOBI. He started and launched the Recording Academy's LGBTQ initiative, Academy Proud. Let's see here. What else is on this list? Produced both the inaugural Black Queer Creative Summit and American Black Film Festival's Queer Lens Brunch. He's been recognized by Out 100. He's been recognized by Native Sons. He was the Grand Marshal in New York City's Pride March last year. Yes. Like, this human being, I'm telling you, is everywhere. We have DaShawn Usher in the place to be, ladies.
Hey. Come on, resume. Look at you. Like
that's not even the half of it. Like, that's not even the half of it. I was like, I'm typing this thing out.
Look, if there was a
carpal tunnel,
if there was a picture to outside, it'll be DaShawn. Outside.
How are you doing today, love?
I'm doing good. Making it. We said it's Monday 2.0, and it definitely is.
Yeah, literally. And before we even start asking questions, things like that, just on behalf of all three of us, we got to say thank you. Just because when we started this podcast, we wanted the spectrum and just representation. You are literally the epitome of that. To have someone that looks and sounds like us out there in these spaces and creating these spaces and these tables and chairs and ladders. Thank you, because community, if you remember last year, we got to be part of a campaign with our brothers over there at Surface Level, and then made a whole host of new family members as well. And it's because of folks like DaShawn to be in these rooms, in these spaces, to be able to help create moments like that and to have opportunities like that. So on behalf of Minority Report, thank you. Seriously. Because it's everything. It's
them
everything.
Flowers. We got to give them
to you. Thank you. Literally, it was one of those things where it's like, you can say things or you can do things, and I much rather do. So it was definitely a pleasure to extend that opportunity and learn again about like so many other like deserving folks and creatives out there. So yeah, thank y'all.
During that campaign was like a great reminder about like there's space for everyone at the table. We really aren't in competition with each other. That is something that the system has designed to try to get us to believe. And being part of that just was a reminder that like that ain't the case at all whatsoever. And to continue to take up space and make space at the same time is just, it's life-changing. Because I love my aunties, I love my sisters, I won't speak for them, but I know for me that just gave me a whole new like breath of fresh air and fire to want to continue to do the same thing as well.
Hey man, yeah, you said it well to me.
Oh, that's the first.
Right,
because she ain't HR. Look.
But I'm curious, like, have you always had that spirit? Because like I was like doing some research on you. I'm like, he's always been like involved. I'm like, it seemed like from like out the womb out here like advocating and things like that. Where did that spirit come from? Because a lot of times there had to be maybe someone that was influential in your life that said, he's got it, I see you, run. Like, who was that for you?
It's wild because I think it was just my mom, honestly, but it was my mom in a different way of like, she wasn't an advocate, but like she was essentially like, we grew up in the Bronx, and so she was the block mom. So essentially it was like everybody came to our stoop, everybody like, told her everything that was going on when they didn't tell like their other friends or family. And she's always just been like super supportive. And so I think that was the early stages of like an affirmation of what it looks like to just show up and be there for people. And as I got older, I went to college in Tennessee and met this wonderful mentor. His name is Dwayne Jenkins, who is in Nashville and runs Nashville Black Pride, who knew Nashville had a Black Pride, didn't. And so when I got there, I started working with him and organizing. And I think it was the beauty of just seeing like what you can do with little resources, but with like pure heart, pure community, and folks that just want to be seen.
Because literally I was like, oh, he started this, but like there's something like that said like you like worked like a blood center or something like that, and I was like, this dude just been out. I'm living for that.
Yes, it has spanned when you say the spectrum, it's been a spectrum of like direct service, but I've told folks that like every job or every career, everything, it's sort of kind of been in line, but it's just been like how to reach more people, how to like bring together more community, and learn those systems to work those systems in our favor because they're not designed for us.
Absolutely. Go for it, DeJawn.
Oh, well, I was just curious, doing the kind of work that you've been doing for so many years and creating the kind of impact that you've been creating. It's a very giving role that you're in. You're giving up your time, your energy, so much of your spirit, your emotions, your physicality, the whole bit. And I'm just curious, as you reflect on all of the work that you've done, how do you continue to fill your cup? Like, what do you do to keep you, with the resources, the internal resources to continue doing this really, really great work that you're motivated to do?
It's kind of wild because it's like, as you said, like we outside, I'm there, but it's like, if people be like, where do you live? Right, because I'm like, one day I'm here, one day I'm there, next day. But it's a true testament to, I would say, the work and the commitment to a certain degree, but also understanding. I remember last year I had got an award, and I wanted to thank like my fiance, but also like my friends and family, because what folks don't see is how much you miss, right? And so you're missing the birthdays, you're missing the graduations and the celebrations that like those that are those personal victories when you are like doing the work. And for me, it's also just knowing that I don't plan on doing and ripping and running like this forever. So I want to do it now as much as I can, and sort of kind of make way for other folks so that they're able to, run those trails and do the same things, so that it's not just me. But it is one of those things of like taking those moments to really like find your community and like reset, recharge. Like I did like a personal like vacation, like just me and myself. Yeah, about last weekend, because it was time to recharge. It was time to. I was like, I'm there for everyone else, and I knew that like literally, I'm not going to be home for a month. Because it's Pride, but it's also like it's everything else leading up to that, and so it is just one of those things where I was like, yeah, before I like engage with folks, I got to make sure that like I'm right. I got to make sure that like I'm filled. And sometimes I think people think that that comes from the outside, but it really is like you filling up your own cup, you taking your own time, you making your own space, go to that dinner alone, go to that restaurant, get whatever it is that you want alone, and have that alone time.
That's a word. That's a word. Jerome, you was about to say something before that.
DeShawn literally took my question, because I was trying to figure out. I was like, you do so much, how do you put it in yourself? But I mean, it also kind of sounds like, as you mentioned, getting this spirit from your mom, as your kind of like your early kind of moments. It also kind of sounds like you might be kind of like walking in your purpose a little bit though too, because it isn't sustainable. Like you mentioned too, like a lot of these places aren't creating spaces for us to have these moments, and they definitely don't make it easy for us to create these moments as well too. So I guess like, you kind of answered that question. How do you, pour back into yourself? But I guess any words that you would give to someone else that might be in a space or might be in a position where they are also having to create these things from scratch themselves, as far as like resources that might exist, or, maybe just ways that they can start maybe taking those first steps to, to be intentional in creating spaces as well for parts of the community that they represent as well.
Yeah, I would say it's just start. It's like it doesn't matter how big, how small, it like who sees it, who does it, like what folks real like. I mean, you were saying and reading, but it was like I've been doing this work for majority of my life when I started in college. So it was like kind of almost like a second nature thing of like realizing that no, I don't want to work in customer service, but like a customer service that's a different type of service, right? To community versus like to just like assholes. And so it's a difference, right?
Trying to get free cable again.
Right. I was like, you over here talking about like I ain't gonna do this, and it's like there are real issues, there are real things that folks are going through, and so it's like, how do we again like continue to just like make space and show folks that it's possible? I always tell folks that there's a reason why like we don't have like these spaces. There's a reason that they don't want us like in community with each other outside of the clubs and the ballrooms, and those are great, but it's like, but if you're trying to network, if you're trying to like you got to assimilate into these other spaces. And so like for us to just like show up and be ourselves, it's like anybody that's creating that space, whether you're in Beaumont, Texas, or you're in Little Rock, or wherever the hell you are, but it's like keep creating those spaces because they do matter. And like one day or maybe no day, but you know that you're doing it for the right reason, right? And so I think that's the thing, is that it's like, don't do it in search of something, do it because of the purpose that like that you have to like your community.
And one thing we will pick up on is that intention. You know,
Mm-hmm.
is this for real, or is this, you know, for a pick me kind of gimmick to get some numbers or something like that?
Yeah.
And once we realize it ain't for the right reasons, deuces. So intention's really important now.
I think one of the things that that we see a lot of times is that the work that civil servants like and advocates such as yourself do oftentimes it goes unseen or unnoticed, right? There's a lot of work that happens in terms of impacting policies and other things that people just don't see the hard work. So when you think about a lot of the work that you've been able to accomplish, I'm just curious, just from a personal perspective, what's maybe one of those initiatives, programs, or achievements that really make you feel proud and really resonate with you
damn,
personally?
I did the damn
thing.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I would say it was probably being in the world of research. It was that wasn't on my bingo card. Like I love writing, I love reading, I love history. I was like, but when it came to like science and math and data, I was like, ain't
Ew.
right.
So you can keep that.
Ooh,
And so
ghetto.
any
Get
science
you a
class that
hoe.
I could escape, I would. And then I ended up doing behavioral research, and it was a game changer of like understanding just how important data was, right?
Mm-hmm.
To tell
Yeah.
the stories and also who's telling those stories, right? And so you
That's
have these researchers that don't look like us that like are studying us and then writing about like the problems that we have and then, spending 5 more years to but we know what the hell is wrong and we know what's going on. And so it was being able to really just like challenge like that system, but also like to like contribute to those papers and write on those papers and be a first author around like how we do recruitment within research and clinical trials. And so I would say, yeah, it would be that. And one of the other reasons I think it was kind of like this full circle moment was because I remember there was a moment where I was in school for Tennessee and I was like, oh, if I'm going to stay in Tennessee, I just might as well just go to grad school. It was like, why keep it going? Like,
Sure.
so I ain't got nothing else to do. I might as
I
well
got
stay.
time. I got
Right.
time.
I mean,
it's
it's just
Tennessee.
over there.
Right, it's Tennessee. What else are we doing here? So I was like, let's just go to grad school. And I remember writing someone like for a letter of recommendation, who was like a mentor in like one of these programs that I was in. And it was like another Black gay man. And he told me no, because he's like, I can't attest to your academic ability. And I was like, I literally just graduated. One, I literally was in this program.
So you see these ropes
Right,
around my
right,
neck because
right,
of all cum laude and all
right,
that
that,
shit.
that I had to do. I was like, you were the person that was assigned to me, which was wild, but it was one of those full circle moments when like seeing a paper published with that same person, and so it was just again like what's your course is your course and like what's meant for you is meant for you. Like I never would have thought like that, like, oh yeah, like eventually I'll have like research papers and all these other like wasn't even trying to do it for any of that, but it was just one of those things that like there was another story and another narrative that needed to be told inside of that research realm, and how do we shift like again like that culture there. So yeah.
I'm curious, like, what did you want to be when you like going off to the school that made you choose Tennessee from like New York and like the culture shock of it all? Like, what did you want to be? I guess initially that, and then obviously we know that the course that ended up happening.
Yeah, I wanted to be anywhere but in New York. Like part of it was because and it's wild because it's a question that you like would probably ask some folks that like went to HBCUs, right? As to like why would you go to an HBCU or why would you want? But it's like I grew up in New York in the Bronx, and so everybody was Black and brown. Everybody. So I never met like a white person, and I'm talking about just regular white. I've seen Italians and like Russians and like
Midwest
like
white.
we can point them out on a map of where everybody came from, right, in New York.
Right. Right.
Where like Black people, Spanish folks came from, but it was like in Tennessee, I was like, where's other people coming from? And so I just wanted to have an experience that I knew the rest of the world, you know, wasn't New York City. And when I got there, I realized
Ooh,
we ain't in New York City no more.
baby.
That racism looks a little bit different. That racism is still alive, but it looked a little bit different, a lot different in New York. And what I realized in being in Tennessee was that like the racism that exists in New York is classism. The racism that exists inside of like, and so there was a reason why I didn't see white people growing up and until I got to Tennessee,
It's true.
because everything
Yeah.
is segregated into like these systems that bypass. And so then you start to understand that and you're like, oh shit, but I would have never understood that had I never went to Tennessee and just met regular white people that were just regular white people. So,
This regular white people is taking me out because it is so real. Because I'm like, I'm glad I'm not the only one who say this. You know, there's the white people over here and there's the white people over there. You know,
yeah,
different.
It's like I'm white. I was like, but from where? Here. It was like, right.
That is too funny. And so then, like, obviously we're gearing up for Pride Month here, and even in just advocacy and activism and things like that, we know, like, yes, you got to pour into yourself, but what advice do you give folks that be like, we've been done told you what was going to happen, especially with this administration, that they trying to take everything that we tried to build and everything. It's like, we've been done told you, so we sitting our asses down, we having us a key over here, but we also know that we still got to fight a little bit because it's just the nature of the beast. What advice do you give people that is like, I'm tired of telling people I want to sit down forever, but we know we can't. What, like, how? What's our strategy then?
Bitch, pick it up in year 3. Rest. It's like, I was like, this, like, he ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. I was like, and so we got 3.5 more years of this. And so it's like, I'm telling folks, protect your peace, protect your peace, protect your peace at all costs. And like, yes, like there will be some of us, and some of us are charged up to do it. I'm not. I was like, because like, like they're playing by so many different rules, right? And so it's like people are being flagged for terrorism and all this other shit. And so it's like when you were speaking out, and I was like, it's Russia 2.0. And so I'm like, you just may want to be careful. And so it ain't like we ain't all that privileged. I can tell you that. I was like, and so it does become one of those things of like, you know, you got to pick and choose your battles. I would say whenever it's something like, for me personally, if it's anything dealing with like trans folks, I'm there. Because like those people shouldn't have to put their bodies or their lives and stuff like online. But if it's for anybody else and you ain't trans, count me out. Count me out, because I've been there, we've done it. I've been there, we've done it. I've been there, we've done it. And so it is just one of those things where it's like, it's time for other people to really see the value of what it looks like when, like, particularly the folks that have been the most active, like, rest. Like, and I'm glad Kamala is somewhere, you know, unbothered.
She got her braids in. She like
honey.
Yes, she's at CAA booking her speaking tours. I was like, yeah. So it's like, I was like, but as she should. But it's like in every other like Black woman, like cis and trans, that deserve to like take their time and protect their peace because they've been doing the work. We've been doing the work, and it's just like at some point you just got to be like, you know what, baby, like y'all think it's a trans issue, but you really realize that like it's your first experiment to see like what people don't say or how people don't show up, and then there'll be another group, and then another group, and another group, and it's like we ain't the exception to the rules. And so I'm like, y'all, you really just gotta protect your peace, because it's the marathon, not the sprint. And so yeah, we
got mile one.
It really is.
We on mile one, ho.
Right. The first 100 days almost took us out. Okay.
Look, it's only been 4 months.
That was just like last month. So, yeah.
It really is the privilege adjacency, though, for me. Like, even within our own Black and queer umbrella term community, it is the privilege adjacency. And it's, you know, these folks that sit in their, you know, in and that sit within their privilege of being closer to whatever power structure that is afforded to that particular group. So whether it's, cisgendered straight black men, if it's, cisgender straight black women, if it is, gay black men, if it's there's a whole totem pole of activity, and it's so interesting to see, like how much infighting there is. I mean, it's not uncommon. We've had colorism, we've got classism within our communities, we've got, so many different things. And it's interesting seeing the dynamic today, of how prevalent that is showing up when the most marginalized, arguably, of our communities and the most vulnerable of our communities, trans individuals, are just scapegoated like nobody's business, and people will jump on that bandwagon. And what's sad is that, we still continue to see, religion playing a big part of that, and other reasons to justify the disparity that exists in our community. And it's just unfortunate, and I'm hoping that people will start to get fed up, with this, and move to action specifically for our queer, trans people of color.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I'm not sure if y'all had seen or someone had said something, but it was like they essentially are using like how we talk to each other like as the playbook. And so it's like if when they say don't check the comments, but like if you look at these comments in the shade room and some of these other like LGBTQ, and like whenever they talk about a trans issue or they talk about like something or they talk about, and it's like the way that we also like as a community like talk about each other, or like, and so it's like it's kind of easy for everybody else to say it when they're looking at the comments section and being like, this seems like the popular opinion. And so it also has to be like a narrative shift too, like when it comes to how are we holding these like outlets accountable, and sort of kind of how are you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that they would keep posting like and clickbaiting that sensationalization of like these particular issues, because we know for a fact that like trans people ain't a problem. It like no one gives a fuck about like your gender identity or who you sleep with. At the end of the day, it's always about like who, like you said, who's the most marginalized person that you could beat up, that you could feel that like, you could do or have a better like up on. Like, and it's just like, we live in a world where of abundance. And I promise you that like we're not at a scarcity of anything other than eggs and gas and hell, probably cereal.
Money.
And
common
money.
decency,
Right.
decency.
In my pocketbook.
Okay. we are lacking abundance in certain areas. I can tell you, but it ain't in the areas that folks think.
No, it is not.
And on the flip side of that, what's bringing you joy? We talked a little bit about, like what's filling your cup. We talked a little bit about some of your, your accomplishments. Like in the midst of all of the chaos that we see around us, what right now in this moment is bringing you joy?
Yeah, I would say it's
Black Twitter.
a little, it's a little wild, but it's like it is the work, because it's like it's being able to figure out ways to like still show up and create and do in a world that is telling you that like they don't want you to be like black and brown anymore. They don't want diversity anymore. They don't want blah blah blah. And it's just like, all right, well that's fine, but you know what they want? Growth segments. And you know what we are and always been? Black and brown people, we're growth segments. And so it's like, y'all, you want to switch up the language, we can. I was like, but we've always been valuable to these companies, and we're always going to be valuable to those companies. And so it's just trying to remind particularly our community like to like stand in joy. Joy is a resistance just as much. Like they want you to be tired. They want you to be like defeated. They want you not to show up, like literally, because I'm telling you, we gonna reach a point like probably next year, halfway through. I'm telling you, like there's no way that everybody has just been this silent, this quiet for no reason. But I do think that it's again, it's the pace that people are choosing like that joy right now to like review them. And so for me, it's that same joy of like, how do we create spaces for other creatives? How are we doing things that like bring community together so that people know that they're not alone and that they can see each other tangibly, like see each other and be in the same room with each other and affirm each other. So yeah, so that brings me joy of knowing that like there's, regardless of what's happening, that like we're still working towards creating those spaces that we could be ourselves and celebrate.
You know, it's funny. You mentioned that like at some point there's going to be like another breaking point, another moment. All I can think about was the chair brawl that happened a few years ago. I'm like, I actually kind of want another one. I'm waiting. Where are we meeting up? Actually, I want to pull up and be in the video. Like,
well, it was the plantation this last week. It was the plantation, baby.
But I mean, that chair brawl was a whole other thing. We were
that was a whole other level. Yes,
no
1,000.
They don't want this.
You right on that.
They don't want
that brought me joy, and it still do.
Okay.
I'm curious, like you're a senior director at GLAAD, and I've always like wondered this perspective, because it's like even within like queer culture, there's like these agencies and companies and things like that were like, okay, we need to have our diversity in that as well, and things like that. Once you've gotten in that, has it been, and I'm trying to watch how I frame it because we need you in that job. So if you say I pass, say, Carell, shut up, I pass. But I'm just curious, once you've gotten into this space, has it been easier, harder to give that diversity lens even within a queer company aspect? And what can we do as like folks that maybe don't work in those companies but hold these companies to such a standard, saying, no, we demand that there's diversity, and sometimes there's not quite that. Has it been easy to infiltrate these companies, or no?
Yeah, I would say it was a mixed bag at first, for sure. But I definitely think that part of it was I applied for the position because it said communities of color, even though every other line said like black, 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 white, black. And so when I got there, I reminded them that like, you realize this is black, right? That we'll be operating from the black diaspora that will benefit everybody else. And it has. And so right. And so I was like, it's okay, you can say black. You ain't gotta be afraid to say black. But I know when I say communities of color, that's how I start off. So I've been grateful, honestly, because like my associate director, Julian Ray Walker, like has came and like into a lot of like our heritage months that you see like on GLAAD, and like a lot of hangouts, and like so we have like API and Native and like other like Jewish American and Arab American. And so like it's those intersections of like even of y'all want to play with communities of color, we're going to show you all these colorful communities, right? And so that like outside of just blackness too, that exists and that deserves the spotlight and that has this intersection. And so I've been grateful for like an organization that does allow us to create that space, that does allow us to literally like convene, and like what we want to call it is what we want to call it when we want to call it that. And so but it's also a reminder that like we don't always again like have those like privileges and autonomy like sometimes within those organizations. And so I'm just grateful, honestly, for the leadership that I've had that like trusted me to like build and sort of kind of just like grow like the programs that we've been doing, and you know, and to keep it black at the forefront of it, because again, everyone else will benefit from it if we're doing it for some of the most marginalized people, because everyone else will feel welcome, everyone else will see that like they too belong, and that they too can create, and that they too can have their own communities. And so yeah, I've enjoyed being able to do that.
I love that, because why not me? You know, like that level of representation. Like if someone else can do it, and that's one thing I feel like some people forget. You know, that like there's power in representation, but there's also just power in seeing someone live in their truth and be their most authentic selves. That can just be inspiring for you to do the same thing, right? And I just love that you let that lead with, hey, Black is all I know because that's all I am. You know, and hopefully that allows you to unlock whoever you are and whatever brings you joy and it makes you who you are.
Yeah. No, truly. And I think, and that's the thing, is that it's like, we all know that like a lot of American culture is Black culture. A lot of this, like,
yeah, it is.
right. And so like it didn't take Beyonce to just, be the one to remind us. This is a reminder. But it is
right. This is a reminder. Like, don't get me started. You about to get me started.
Too soon. Don't worry. Like, back to the Renaissance era. But it is just one of those things of where it is like that beauty of just knowing like how much we contribute. And so for me, it's like, I don't find what I'm doing at GLAAD to be no different than how we contribute to overall American culture. So
yeah. And then, I mean, we got the GLAAD over here, and then we got MOBI over here.
Oh yeah,
how did you?
That's where
like,
we're just unapologetically Black. We black,
Yeah.
Black.
So, and how did that come to be? Like, I mean, that's just taken. And before I even say this, MOBI Fest is coming up, by the way, quickly here, very quickly. Tell us about MOBI Fest before we even talk about how MOBI came to be.
Yeah, so MOBI Fest, June 1st through the 8th. New York City will be doing like a park day. We'll be doing some like wellness classes throughout the week and other like activities. And then like on Saturday, June 7th, will be like the big MOBI Fest live of live entertainment, DJs, performers, drag queens, ballroom. So everybody literally up under one house, just celebrating 100% free. And then we also have an art party that happens on that Sunday, the 8th, to close out the week. But yeah, it's been year 8, 9, 8 or 9. Right, it's whatever.
When
whatever
you're spreading joy, you kind of forget
right.
time.
I was keeping track, but don't worry, we'll let you know when it's year 10. But I know we're almost there. But yeah, we've been doing it, and it's been so much fun to just like continuously create space for communities. It's wild because like folks think that like New York City is like this big diverse bubble, and she was kind of is once upon a time, but it is just one of those things of that like it's also kind of wild that like during like June there isn't any real like Black queer celebration, like specifically that like highlights queer artists, that like is like run by Black queer people. And so it's like really creating a space for people to be seen, for people to perform, for people to be paid, for people to like just experience it all. And that came about because it was when I was at the Blood Center doing my research and I was like, hey y'all, there's this gap between reality and research where it's like we have some of the tools now that can offset. It was that whole 1 in 2 statistic from the CDC of lifetime risk of Black gay men having a lifetime risk of contracting HIV. And it was like, I was like, that's wild. And it was like, if we don't do anything different. And so MOBI was the something different. MOBI was the like literally the next year we came back, we wrote a grant, we got funded. We've been like definitely super successful and fortunate to be continuously funded since then, to keep putting on this programming for folks for free, not just in New York but across the country when we do MOBI talks and other things with like other partners like Beef Healthcare. But Gilead has supported us with the festival, and the New York City Council and Department of Health. And so there's a lot of different like collaborators and folks that like have contributed to the success of MOBI. But it also is like the team is super like dynamic, super talented, super amazing. So if you are again like in New York City and you want to have a good time for free, feel free to go to MOBI, MOBI-NYC.com, and you'll be able to see all of the happenings that's happening there.
Absolutely.
I'm on the wrong coast. I know that much.
I don't
know. Just come visit. Just come visit. This week. Just the week.
Look, I'll be there in a couple days from now because I'm going to Beyonce on Saturday in New York. So I know.
Saturday. I'll be there on Wednesday.
You be there Wednesday. Oh, so you going tomorrow?
Oh no, the other
or
Wednesday. Like,
this week.
you know, right.
Okay,
The following
okay,
Wednesday. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Next
The
Wednesday.
Yes.
I can't
You
wait.
got your outfit ready?
I
No,
do. I do.
I got.
Do you know what you're wearing though?
No, we gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out.
You gotta get the get up. That's the,
It'll be a
that's
get
part of
up.
the thing.
It'll be a get up, but we're gonna have to get it on up.
Get it up to get it.
Yeah, right?
I know that's right. Let's see here. Well, curiosity, gentlemen, or any other questions before we hop into curiosity?
No,
let's get into curiosity.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
Let's
Well,
have a little bit of
community,
fun.
you know, with every guest, we do our curiosity segment. It kind of just to get to know them a little better, a little more lighthearted, sometimes a little deeper, but usually a little more lighthearted. And we'll start here. Coming to the stage is DaShawn Usher. What song is playing?
Oh, you gotta hold on. My internet literally.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. All right,
Okay, so did you hear? I'll do it again. We'll redo it again. Here we go. Coming to the stage is DaShawn Usher. What song is playing?
What song is playing? It's Destin Conrad's "Bad Bitches." that has been the theme in my head, running rent free right now.
I feel like he's about to have like just a major blow up finally that he needs. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like he's starting to just be everywhere right now, and I'm loving it.
I saw him in concert last year. Baby, so good. So good.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I'm a fan. Mm-hmm.
No, he's been popping up. So
that's
I've
right.
been like,
He really has. And like, and I forget the name of the song. What's the song? He has the video out now, and he's like hitting a cute little 8 count. Oh God, hold on.
It's like kissing in the. Is it kissing in the street?
Yes,
Kissing in the street.
yes.
Kissing in the street. Yep.
I was like, you better eat this little 8-16 count up, bitch. It's super cute. All right. Let's see here. When do you feel you're most sexy?
My most sexy. Probably like right after a shower. You know, you
T-shirt with
you
no
French,
panties
you over here lotioning up and
Baby.
oiling up. And you're like, yeah, it's like, you better feel sexy.
Oh, that's right.
You got that foot on the bed. Got that foot in the bed. Just like this. Mm-hmm. Like you putting on some pantyhose or something, just right off the leg.
Balls just jangling. I'm just saying. Let's see here. I recently saw that you went to that Gladys Shaka Patty Stephanie Mills concert.
Yes.
So, who was your favorite?
You know, surprisingly, it was Stephanie.
Okay.
Shaka was second for sure. Patty needs a timeout. Patty be playing. Patty did not rehearse 1,000 times. Okay.
She didn't know the word. Stop.
She said, "With my background singers,
where my cue cards? I
Mills,
don't know the song."
Literally, she's like, "No, we're literally said it." But Stephanie Mills, it looked like it just like I just love watching performers that look like they're having fun, and you could tell that she was having fun. And so definitely Stephanie Mills.
My bestie, she's just happy that they included her this go round because they be forgetting Stephanie.
Okay, I gotta ask you though, because my bestie went in LA last weekend and was saying he don't think Gladys gonna make it through the whole tour. Was she on point when you went?
I miss Gladys because she went first, which was first of all, they start on time. When they say 7, whatever time it says it starts, this ain't no Beyonce concert. This ain't no other concert we've ever been to. There's no DJ.
They got the greens on the stove.
They got a hard 30 minute set. Each of them. It's like
I got that pot roast in the oven right now. We starting on time.
the next act is coming out for 30 minutes, not 1 minute more, not 1 minute less. But yeah, no, I literally got there at 7:30, and Stephanie Mills was on, and like we had just missed Gladys, but
Gladys, okay.
Gladys was on that midnight train to Georgia already. She said, "Bitch, I'm out."
leave me.
Oh Lord. Okay, Stephanie. Atlanta or New York?
I'm Atlanta. Yeah, I was like, it's for me. Atlanta it's wild because I would have never said this in college, but Atlanta has been like my rested and rejuvenation place. Because when I'm in New York, it's a lot.
Go.
You're booked and busy. You're booked and busy
Right,
when you're in New York. Yeah.
It's like, so yeah.
I know people like because I moved from Atlanta to Philly 3 years ago, and there's a part of me I still miss it. I'm like, Atlanta's just different. Atlanta's just different. It's just built different.
It's built different. Like the air's different. The pollen's different.
Literally, the pollen's definitely
The
different.
pollen almost kicked me out the other day when I came back. I was like, woo.
I don't miss that. That's true. I don't miss that at all. Your cars be like yellow. Like it'd be yellow.
Right. I have a white car and she green.
That. Do not miss that part. The last song played on your media app of choice. And we'll do this for everybody. What's the last song that was played on your media app of choice?
Mine's is AEOMG by Coco Jones.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mine
legs
is
up on the ceiling.
I Can Love You because I was in my Share My World era.
That's my favorite Mary J. Blige album. I remember
sitting here
going to school in junior high with my CD Walkman, anti-skip. Just listen to that album like the whole school year. Like I know every ad lib, I know every flat note. I know it all of it. Like that is my favorite Mary J. Blige album.
Truly, literally, and had no clue what the hell she was thinking about.
None.
Right.
I'm like, who am I sharing my world with? My sister and my brother? Like, what?
Right. Who you loving, who you rubbing, who you kissing and hugging? Huh?
Right. On my Ninja Honda. Like, what? I ain't got no Ninja Honda.
Right.
Ain't got no friend named Rhonda. Like, what?
Ain't got no friend named Rhonda. I was like, and then that R. Kelly and it's on. I was like, that.
Baby.
I was like, but it also, I was like, what was on? What was on for us in junior high school?
Nothing. Ghost Rider? I don't know. Shit. I don't know, but I sure was singing that whole album.
Yes.
Mine is When You Touch Me by Brandy. Like I went down a full moon thing yesterday. Like it started at the gym because I was like, okay, usually I listen to like up-tempo stuff at the gym. So I started with What About Us, but then I was like, oh, I want to hear this song. Oh, I want to hear this song though. And I was just at the gym listening to When You Touch Me.
Yes, that is what the equipment was saying about you.
Baby, I know. I was like, all this sweat. Yeah, it's on my body. What you was listening to, DeJawn?
Who Loves You by Surface. Old school. I love me some Surface, by the way. They've got like bangers. Who loves you? Who loves you like I do? Like I do. Nobody. No one else gonna give you love. That's a very Leo song. So yeah.
Well, I mean,
you right. Let's hear. We'll do a few more here. What's your favorite Usher song?
Favorite Usher song is it'd always be a mix between Confessions is probably the one, and Let It Burn.
Yeah, I'm not bad at
that album, Chokehold.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Chokehold.
Yeah.
Like instant transport back to being in middle school. Just
I think you make me feel a little old. I was in college, but that's okay.
I was just getting.
I think I was in high school. I was like,
yeah, I think I was like freshman year.
DeJawn said, "Shit, I was paying my mortgage. I was."
was on my second gay relationship. Like,
she said, I could rent a car by that time. What you mean?
Right.
I had my own insurance.
I know that's
only
right.
you
He
need the
said,
real emotions of like.
Okay.
This is my confessions. I missed my payment on my bill. That's my confession for this month. While y'all playing. Oh Lord. Let's see here. You kind of hinted at this. Early bird of night owl.
Night owl, like
Night owl.
give me the night.
Okay, but if you're a night owl, do you also need a certain amount of sleep though? Or are you like stay up late but can still get up on time when you get up?
It's stay up late and I can get up. It ain't early, but when I'm up, like it depends. I was like,
I got up though. Thank you, Lord.
When I got up, I was there. It's but like, if I have to do something or be somewhere at a certain time, like it's so out, my body is just triggered. Like I can stay out late and go out late, and then I can like be there and go. But if it's just get up early. Just to get up early, it was like,
no, you're gonna get your sleep. You're gonna get your sleep. Got you. Okay. Okay.
There's rumors that Brandy, Monica are going on the Boy Is Mine tour.
You better say who else is on that tour.
Money Long and Kelly Rowland.
Okay, thank you. Damn. I was like, you better give Kelly some praise.
I was gonna get there. But like you gotta let that simmer because there was a time we never thought Monica was gonna do anything with a Brandy. So A, would you go? And then B, who are you most looking forward to seeing if that's the tour?
yes, I'm going. And it's Monica and Brandy's The Boy Is Mine.
He said, not yours, but mine.
He said, you knew who I am.
Right.
Oh, that for you. I know you're on that.
You must be confused. He seems to be confused. Because it's Monica, The Boy Is Mine.
This tour belongs to me.
I saw one of the Brandy blogs that said Brandy's going on tour with bringing along Monica, Kelly, and I was like, that ain't. Y'all need to fix this headline. It's like
it's
that.
Still low key. It still kills me that Brandy is the side piece in that scenario. Like, like she is the side chick in that whole scenario. Like, excuse me, do you know somebody by the name? Oh yeah, I know his name.
I know his name.
Right? Do you know his name?
Right.
Real familiar.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know his name.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but no. And if you listen to if you listen to saying karaoke enough times, you realize Monica ate Brandy the hell up.
She kind of did.
Line for line.
Yeah.
So she's like, girl, you are delusional. It's like,
well, it was just that Atlanta that was coming out of Monica during that time.
Yeah,
Like Brandy was still a little just like
trying
Cinderella.
to be sweet.
Monica's like, I don't play that shit. Come on now.
No. But I love Brandy as an artist, but I have always been like a Monica fan. Like,
yeah. I just don't want social media to get in between this happening. Like, I know the community, we always gonna cut up, we always gonna, stir the pot just a little bit, we're gonna whisk that bitch
especially once the tour happened to see who sang better.
Right. I just don't want that to become an issue and they end up canceling. I don't want it to be like an who was it? Was it SWV and Escape, right?
And Escape.
Yeah.
I don't want that shit to happen because we all love these artists and these songs too much for us like not to have these moments. So I was like, I love the hee ha about it, but y'all don't fuck this shit up for us. Like at the end of the day, we better be like, and they did this, but they still did this.
Because I think Brandy and Monica, I think that they've come to an age where they've understood that like they need each other. Like that it's like you got to put aside like all of the social blah 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 who's in whoever's head, but it's like they like y'all got a Grammy together.
Yeah.
And get this money.
And
we all been waiting for this shit for 25 years.
Yes, and so
go for the bag.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I think they know that they're about to run circles in all these arenas to get that bag, and I don't think either one of them are going to let the bottom line.
Right. I hope not. But you know what? I know that when they do this tour, all these other girlies who are in R&B, they're gonna have to step that shit up because they about to be reminded real quick about.
And even with Kelly, we ain't even said nothing about Kelly and Money yet.
Yeah,
like Kelly about to, Kelly about to give it. So like,
and she give us an 8 count too. The other girls won't be dancing. Yeah, Kelly will be out there putting on a show.
Commander.
Take us back to our whole dance album era.
Baby, I still just need one more dance era, Kelly. Just one more, like, just.
I'm so mad that she said she was hanging it up. I'm so mad that she said she was hanging it up. She did. She literally went out there and said, "I'm not doing." She was like, "I'm not doing that." She's like, "I'm just that's just not me anymore." And I get it.
To be.
I know.
I was like, she was so good. I was like,
in her own bag, in her own lane. Ain't nobody was doing it like her. Just
still not.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Easy money. Let me tell you.
She's saving it up for that DC3. That's all.
She's saving it up for that Donna Summer movie. Okay. Because baby, then she could really be in her dancing.
I'm ready.
Could y'all imagine if we just got nothing but just like Kelly Rowland just doing like remixes to nothing but Donna Summer? It's just like just an album of that.
Oh, that would be amazing.
She's just
maybe.
I want the album in the
sexuality. The sexuality.
The album I'm like, give us both. Like, give us
right. It's like your sister Beyonce giving us 3. Give us 3. Come on, now. All right, a few more, and I said that a second ago, but oh well. Which pair of Jordans are your favorite? What number?
I enjoy. I used to really love the 2s, but it's the ones that are what's the ones? I think they're the 9s. The ones that like they're like mostly one color, but then they have like that side color like on the.
Yeah, I think that is the 9s.
Because I like the 4s.
Because the 8s. I like the 2s though. I still rock with the 2s.
Yeah, I was like the 2s were always my favorite, but I was like, but I just love. I just love
Jordan 9s. Yeah, the Jordan 9s.
Yeah, I just love the look of the 9. I'd be like, never want to take them out the box if they have a white bottom. I mean,
that and don't like. Tori was mad at me like downstairs right now. It's so bad. I'll buy a pair because I really want them. But then I'm like, I ain't found the right location to wear them yet because I don't want to get them dirty. I don't want it's a stay there.
It gets who all gonna be there because these niggas stepped on.
Because I'm gonna be so upset. Beach or mountains?
I love a beach. I ain't going hiking. I'm from New York. We've seen enough of the skylines.
Like I've been to the mountaintop, bitch.
I was like, have you seen a beach in New York? give me a real beach anytime. I know that's
right. I know that is right. PB or J or turkey sandwich?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
I was like, and probably because I always will eat a turkey sandwich. And so I'm like, what have I not had? And I was like, now I kind of want a peanut butter and jelly.
I can eat them every day. Let's see here. We will we'll just end here. Beyonce or Janet?
Mrs. Carter.
He said, put some respect on the name. He said, put that Mrs. on there.
No, I love the funny thing is I love Janet, but like, yeah, there's definitely an era of Janet that like I love what she's doing now. I was like, but baby, I wish I was like old enough to see Janet when Janet was Janet.
Prime Janet.
Yeah,
yes.
part.
It's like yes. Velvet rope Janet. Okay,
it was a time. It was good. And the thing is, like, I say that, but like, I was like only because that was like 96-ish. So I was only like 13, thinking I was full grown singing these. What about the time that I'm like, nobody beat me up. Like, what the fuck am I singing this domestic violence song for?
I was a sophomore in college.
So you had your little T-bar swoop.
I was already grown.
I know that's right. What's your favorite Beyonce album?
My favorite Beyonce
Nope,
album.
I want to change it. I want to hear your ranking because you part of the Beehive, you part of the Beehive,
okay.
so I want to hear your ranking of the albums
in order.
It would be Beyonce.
Okay, at number 1.
Lemonade.
Okay.
So, not surprisingly, but I guess Dangerously in Love is definitely number 3.
Okay.
Renaissance is 4 because it's just, I feel like Renaissance will always just be a top 5 album. It's just like you insert wherever, but it's like, you just have to have that. And I feel like Deja Vu would round out my top 5.
B-Day.
Like, B-Day. Yeah, but I was like, but it, I was like, but that Beyonce album, like there will never be anything like that. I think that like she's done, and I love the other layers of her for sure. But I was like, but baby, when she did Beyonce, that's the reason why you do your self-titled album.
I mean, and that's the reason why we get music on Fridays now. So I mean,
don't change the whole thing.
The whole thing up.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's very few moments where you know exactly where you were when you found that album dropped.
Yeah.
And like I would distinctly remember where I was at. Like it's bizarre.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I was at a Beyonce concert. She did it in like it was the night.
You were there?
No. Yes, and it was the night that she did her 100th Mrs. Carter show.
Yes.
Louisville, Kentucky. This girl got off the fucking stage, and next thing we know, everybody's phone is going off. We're like, what? There's like, Beyonce just dropped an album. It was like, everybody's like, and you know, this is like, the internet wasn't the internet as it was.
Right.
So everybody was like, no, you're lying. This is great. Did. So, yep. She got off that stage and said nothing. She's like, good night.
Right. She on the tour bus like
sleep.
And everyone else is just running around losing their mind. Just like
just so reckless. Yeah. I remember because like I remember that night for some reason because I was living in Chicago at the time. Went to bed early for some reason that night because usually I was like up and woke up late at that. So I was scrambling around that morning, got in the car because I had to drive from Chicago to Schaumburg because that's where I was working. And finally on the highway when I finally just like was in stop and go traffic, looked at my phone and it's just like, and I was like, wait, what the fuck is that? Like it literally, so I remember exactly where I was on that highway when I found out that she had dropped the album and then went on to iTunes because it wasn't streaming really. Went on to iTunes, went on ahead and bought it. And that shit is still on my iPhone to this day. Like all the videos and shit always pop back up. Yeah, like re-download and shit from when I bought it from that iTunes.
I remember being at the saloon in Minneapolis and all of a sudden my big bro, DJ Naughty Boy, he downloaded it and he started playing it at the bar. So literally that night I'm at the saloon, a gay bar, getting my best life to the fucking album in real time. And I lost my shit. That's my number 2 album for that very reason. And just like, I always put B-Day at number 1 just because that was the first visual for every single thing. And there's just so many different layers and so many different like personas that she give in that one. But then Beyonce though, self-titled, baby, she was a woman. She was a woman.
5 or 6 or something like that. Like it's lower
at 5 or 6. Oh, because you like 4, don't you?
Yeah,
I love 4.
He loved 4.
I love Renaissance.
Yeah,
I love. Oh, maybe I'll put Beyonce. So what's that? Maybe that's number
5.
Yeah, I guess number 4 or 5.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And DeJawn just puts everything on shuffle. So,
God, yeah. It's so upsetting to go to DeJawn's house.
He goes to artists, and it says Beyonce, and it shows all the albums. He goes shuffle.
It's so upsetting.
But like, you know what?
You know the next song that come on, and that'll be like, nope.
But you know what? I respect it for the artist on the shuffle. So when he shuffles Beyonce, I'm cool. Cool. Because
at the end of the day, we cool.
I want to go between albums. But
right,
when
it's
I hear
better between albums than when he shuffles like Renaissance.
You see
He'll
what I'm
shuffle
saying?
Renaissance,
Right.
and you're like,
So
we do.
Oh yeah,
we don't
absolutely. I will
We
absolutely. Yeah. But I'm a Leo. I get bored, so
Like-
spice things up. I don't want no predictability.
That's like putting the writings on the wall on shuffle, where it'd be like, "Thou shalt say my name."
No,
and then
right.
next thing
And it's like, right, then it's bugaboo.
he ain't gonna love you like I do. She ain't gonna love you like I do.
He said, "I'm a Leo."
Right. Thou shalt say my name. Like, no, that ain't the next song.
When you at your house, you get to play the
He said,
music.
"Now
the
that
way-
you're gone, no,
Look.
that ain't it."
No. When you at your house, you get to play the music the way you want to listen to it. But when you come over to my house, bitch, I own that aux cord. So
Facts.
Right on
And
that.
she said, you gonna hear Sweet 16 after Bugaboo, okay?
and if I'm feeling really spicy, I might throw a little Solange in there. So what?
Hey,
like make it a
I'm not
family
mad at
affair. So
I get it. Well, DaShawn, we love that you took the time to kick it with us. We really, really do.
Thank y'all. Thanks.
The community should know who you are, but if you don't, community, DaShawn, tell them where to find you, like, and tout whatever you want to tout.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere at DaShawn Usher, literally. DASHA USHER on across all social platforms. MOBI is MOBIMIC in GLAAD GLAAD. Those are main platforms and things that we're doing.
I love it. And honestly, again, we appreciate you because, again, we love seeing the spectrum of our community, and we love seeing folks just repping the shit out of it and doing the damn thing. So continue to do the damn thing. You have at least, at minimum, even though we know a lot of people are hyping you up, you at least got 3 that gonna continue to hype you up because we need you in these spaces. And then also, it's so amazing how you share these spaces with everyone as well. So we appreciate you so dearly. We really do.
Thank y'all.
I would just piggyback and say, if you've ever got anything that's going on and you need an additional platform, you are welcome back anytime.
1000%.
Thank you. Now, this has been so much fun. Like, truly appreciate y'all for what y'all do and what y'all have been doing and what you continue to do. I'll be rooting you on when you get your Golden Globe. Hello, right?
Put it out there.
Hello.
I know that's right.
When you get your EGOTs.
Amen. I know that's right.
Be like, I was on episode.
Right.
329.
329.
I remember when that dropped. Remember?
Right. Hey, from your mouth to God's and the universe's ears,
Yes.
But anything else, Jarrell Dewan, on your hearts and minds?
No. No.
Yeah, just thank you for tuning in.
Right, well, community, happy Pride. Stay safe out there.
I do have one more thing to say because
Yes.
it comes out on the weekend of Memorial Day.
Yes, I'm glad
So once again, if you're in the Seattle area, we will be together this Friday, May 30th here in Seattle. TBD on the time and location, so pay attention to our social media. And we'll be posting that this week. But if you're in Seattle, we would love to see y'all come out and see your aunties. Gonna be a time. So
that part. And until then, wash your hands, your legs, and your ass, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Gotta do how young people. Bye, y'all.
Oh, see, I don't know how to do that. It
I'll
look
do
like
that.
throwing gang signs.
Right.
Bye, y'all.